doing? I'm back with the next teaching on our book, The 12 Gates of Healing. Now, this is a paperback. It's in a workbook size, which is 8.5 by 11, and it's available on Amazon for less than $15. There's a Kindle version too for less than $10. And I almost got the the hardcover edition completely ready to upload, but I didn't quite get through it yesterday because I had to go to the airport. And boy, that took forever. The traffic was horrific. It took over 4 hours to get there and back with my boy. And yeah, I was tired when I got home last night. So I didn't make the video last night, but I'm making it this morning. I'll make the one that is for today's teaching this afternoon. Never fear. Your fearless leader will not leave you in a lurch. Now look, if y'all can't afford this book, if there is some kind of financial burden that is keeping you from being able to buy this book and start your healing journey, just send me an email. My email address is right there with your name and address. And tell me you need a free copy of this paperback and I will send you one. It's not going to hurt my feelings. It's not a shameful thing to ask for help when you need help. Do you need healing? Yes, you do. Do you have a financial barrier? Well, let's not make that the reason why you can't get your healing. Just email me, okay? Also, if you have any questions or comments or concerns, need something explained a little bit better, just email me there too, and I'll do my best to answer your questions ASAP. All right, let's get into it. Yesterday, we started on gate 3. And gate 3 is the decision gate. And the first key was you cannot continue in this journey until you decide you want to. And then the first exercise was making the decision. So basically you did a pros and cons list of why you should or why you don't want to continue this journey. So if you decided to continue, that's why you're here. And we're going to get into the second key today, which is don't tell other people about your journey just yet. Well, why, Lainey? Why wouldn't I tell anybody? Because people hate change. It's a basic fact. People hate change. It's weird, but it's human. And they don't want us to get better, most of the people in our lives, friends, family, coworkers, whoever, because they are afraid of changing themselves and changing others. They prefer to maintain the status quo. Have you ever heard that saying, misery loves company? Well, it's true. And why is that? Well, I believe it's because miserable people want to hang around with people who are either as bad or just a little bit worse than they are, so that they don't have to look at somebody who's healed, whole, and living a good life. It puts the mirror in front of their face and makes them think, uh-oh, something's wrong with me. And they don't want to think about that, right? And so if they're unhappy, they're going to gravitate to unhappy people. And if you all of a sudden start coming in telling them about your happy journey, they're not going to like it, and they're going to do everything they can to discourage you. If your crowd is made up of addicts, depressed people, negative folks, and others with a similar disposition, the last thing you want to do is talk with them about your decision to make a change. Now, there will come a time to do that when you're through the process and you're living a much better life and you're more healed than you've ever been and you're more happy than you've ever been. Yeah, then you can share it with your miserable friends because you want to encourage them to take the journey too. But now you are too fragile, my sweet little magnolias, and they could easily just shatter your progress, shatter your hopes and dreams because they want to keep you where you are. Same with your family members. They're used to you being easily manipulated and easily controlled. And they don't want you to heal because they don't want to disrupt the way the dynamic works in your family. Oh, Lainey, she's the one who'll do anything because she's a people pleaser. They don't consciously think that. But if you come in and start saying, hey, I found this this book called The 12 Gates of Healing, and it's helped me heal from all the past trauma that you motherfuckers put me through, they're not going to like it. And they're going to try to do everything in their power to stop you from changing that family dynamic. But if you have positive people in your life, they could feel threatened by your healing and growth. Why? Because they're used to that dynamic. They're used to you always being the one who needs them to save you. If you're constantly going to them and pouring out your heart, they probably enjoy fixing you. It's a codependent relationship. They're broken as well. They may be on the more positive side of things. They may not be addicts. They may not be people who abuse and traumatize others, but they still are broken and they're fixers. That was me. I was the positive friend. And I enjoyed my friends coming to me with problems so I could be the almighty savior and fix their problems for them, and they would be eternally grateful and love me forever. Yeah, that's another piece of broken that a lot of people don't talk about. And it's part of the role that people are accustomed to playing in your life, these positive people. And if you aren't a total wreck of a person, they won't understand how to relate to you. So they're going to try to discourage you from doing this. Oh, that's a cult. Yeah, some people might accuse you of getting into the sweet little magnolia cult. Yeah. But if you've already shared your decision to take this journey with others, then just stop talking about it. Just consider it's probably a good thing, because you may have already noticed some of these things, whether they're subtle or blatant. So from this point on, just stop talking about it. They'll figure that you gave up, because you probably always give up when trying to change, just like I did, and just like they do. And they'll leave you alone. If you're not talking about it anymore, they will eventually leave you alone. But you won't be able to hide the changes that are going on inside you. And you don't want to. You shouldn't try to hide them. When they see a change in the way you respond to situations that arise, they're going to notice. And they're going to question. But most of the time, they won't say anything. If you get too many negative reactions from your peers as you're changing, consider hermiting for a while, living in solitude until you get your feet solidly placed under you, because you do not want to have to be dealing with a bunch of negative ninnies while you're going through this. So you may need to take some time. A sabbatical is what the intellectual crowd calls it. You don't want to run the risk of sabotaging your progress just to get the approval of your peer group. So you may consider doing that. I had to do that. I spent some time in isolation just to get to the point where I could stand firmly on my decision to go through this process and heal. So that may be something you'll have to do. Just play it by ear and allow your spirit team to help you understand what you need to be doing. Okay? And if you have any questions, email me. We're going to get into the exercise here in a minute. So it's called Guarding Your Heart. And if you want to take notes, go ahead and use this time to pause the video and go get a notebook and a pen if you don't already have it. And we'll get into the lesson right now. So the second exercise that goes with the second key in the 12 Gates of Healing book, Gate 3, the Decision Gate. Don't tell other people about your journey yet. This exercise is called Guarding Your Heart. So just like always, make sure you have your notebook or a journal, a pen, probably a box of Kleenex. It's always a good idea. And find a space where you won't be disturbed, and be prepared to spend a little time. And also, as always, connect with your spirit team and ground yourself. Now, if you've been following along, you know, I say it every day, there's an index in the back of the book that tells you how to do that if you don't know how. And then you want to take 3 deep cleansing breaths. In through the nose, out through the mouth. because that will help calm you and get rid of any anxious feelings. Just, it really works. It really works. I do it 3 times because that's what I need. If you need it more than 3 times, feel free to do it as much as you need. And then ask yourself, have you shared the news of this journey with anyone who isn't taking the journey with you? If you're doing it with a friend or a partner, it's okay to talk to them because they're doing it too. And it's a joint decision, obviously. But if you've shared it with other people, yeah, answer that question. And then what were their reactions? Make a list of who you shared it with and how they've reacted or been with you since you shared that information. And then ask yourself, do you have anyone in your life that is encouraging you on this journey? Anyone that you've shared it with that is healed enough that they want you to heal too? If so, write them down and thank the universe for their presence in your life. And you may even thank them personally too, because you need people like that to help you through this journey. And then that's the end of this exercise. And you'll burn some incense or Palo Santo, sage, get a selenite wand and run it around yourself. You have to clear your energy. And the reason why, like I say every day, is you don't want to either A, take it into your dream time if you're going to bed right after this, or B, take it back with you, any of that energy back with you into interacting with your family, friends, or whomever. So make sure you clear your energy. Yeah. There's a lot of steps to this process, and we're not even into the deep shit yet. We are just into the foundational pieces, which we have to lay the foundation properly and effectively so that you will be successful in building your new house for your new life. Okay, let's do a check-in. Journal if you want to. I highly recommend journaling everything. Ask yourself, am I feeling good about my decision to continue or discontinue this journey? And if so, why? If not, why? Am I a little fearful of the path ahead? And be honest with yourself, because if you're a little fearful, that's okay. In fact, most people are fearful. I know I was. I was like, what's it going to be like? What am I going to have to deal with? Am I a little fearful of the path ahead? And if so, why? And it's normal. You don't know what's coming. You don't know what's ahead. You don't know. You know, it's like, even if you do know that there's going to be pain, it doesn't stop the fear, because I've had 4 children, right? And when I was going into labor, with the first one, the fear was just enormous because I didn't know what to expect. But even with the second and third and fourth, I had that fear hit me because I knew there was going to be pain, agony, if you will. But I also knew that the outcome was going to be a beautiful, wonderful little baby that I could love and cherish for the rest of my days. So I just persevered. What else was I going to do, right? I didn't really have a choice when I was given birth, but you have a choice. However, the fear, which is very normal, can be overcome just by the doing of it. And then, how can I best cope with these feelings? How can you cope with the fear? Well, you can, number one, you can remind yourself what the reward is. Just like when you're in labor, giving birth, you remind yourself that the reward is that sweet little precious baby at the end of the journey. Okay. Next question. Can I still move forward, or do I need to take a break? And if you need to take a break, how long should that break be? Don't just give yourself an open-ended, I'll come back to it whenever. Set a date, because that will keep you more committed. Okay, don't beat yourself up if you need a break. It's perfectly normal because this journey is difficult and probably different from anything you've ever done before. So take the break if you need to, but come back when you're ready. Set a date to come back because it's too important to give up on. And let's talk about the toolkit. For Gate 3, the spiritual tools you can pick up and add to your healing journey toolkit are positive affirmations. And remember, you can make up your own positive affirmations that work better for you. But here's a few that I'm giving you. I'm growing stronger daily. I am healthy, healed, and whole. It may not be true in the physical reality yet, but it's true in the spiritual reality. So keep saying it. I am the creator of my own life. That one's true. You have the power to create your own life. I am the creator of my own joy. Also very true. I am in charge of my own destiny. 100% true. And then keeping your journey private to avoid being discouraged. That's another piece of the toolkit. And if you can, if you have them, pick them up and carry them with you, a cheerleader in your corner. If you don't have one now, ask the universe to send you one. This journey is so rewarding, really. It's difficult. It's painful even. It may cause you a little anxiety and fear at some points, but it is a beautiful, wonderful outcome that you get when you go through it. So keep pressing in and going on, my sweet little magnolias. Don't give up. I'll see you next time when we will be going into Gate 4, which is the examination gate. The first key is assessment of your spiritual, mental, and emotional self. You're just kind of examining where you are and what needs to be worked on, looked at, healed. So come back for that. Love y'all. See you next time.